Okay, so I'll be designing um, a logo using two different approaches. So this is my day 200 and whatever of the logo design I've been doing. So the project is for an investment brand. This is my sketch. This is for an investment brand. So basically, the brand name is Nolan. Nolan. That's the brand name. It's an investment brand, and all we talk about, all we know about investment is there's always coming in and going out of money, incoming and outgoing, which is why I have these two arrows. If I am to break this down for you, this logo has this is one arrow facing up, which means money going out, and this arrow is facing down, which depicts money coming in. So basically, that's the idea behind this logo. So it's a simple mark. So I'll be using two different approaches to design this. So the first one is I'll be using a monoline, and the second one won't be a monoline. Okay, this is what I mean by monoline. Okay, let me just start. First things first, I'll have to reduce the opacity of this logo so I can see whatever I'm doing on it. So if you're using Illustrator, you know a way to reduce the opacity. But for corridor users, use your transparency tool. Put it on uniform transparency. Yeah, so I can increase the opacity further to 70. Yeah. So I'll be using a monoline. But before I do that, I want to follow up this graph. So it is quite important you sketch. Do you understand me? So with this now, I'll be drawing a graph. What I just did is I hold my control button, then I drag with my left click, then I release it with my right click to duplicate. So all I just have to do is Ctrl G to duplicate, duplicate, duplicate. So that's 5 lines. I'll copy and paste, and I rotate it 70 degrees. So I'm having this graph inside. So the approach I'm doing now is the monoline approach. So I need to get this size of, okay, so it's just like this, from this node to this node for that. So I just have to increase it further. You can decide to leave it there, you can decide to increase it, it doesn't matter. So where do we have, okay, we have another one here. So the intersection, so if you zoom in, you see that they are meeting. Yeah, what I'm working with is accuracy and precision. So I'll do the same thing here. I'll just duplicate and bring it down here. So make sure, don't mind your sketch, okay, your sketch is not always accurate, but just work with the accuracy on the graph that you've provided for yourself on your computer. So another one here. I think these curves are complete. So the next one, I'll duplicate it. Yeah, so next one goes like this. Make sure it is still joining. As you can see, it's now forming an asterisk. So to form this line, just drag it way up, drag this way down. So yeah, that's for this line. Then another one for this line. Just make sure it's at the center. As you can see, it's still forming an asterisk. Perfect. So I'm going to try to pull this down. Doesn't matter. So where do we need again? Okay, there's a part here, so duplicate this. See, once it's once it's at the center of that selection, it will show you something like intersection. Okay, there's another one here. So this is what I'm saying. It shows intersection. That means it is at the accurate place. Yeah. So I can increase this also. I think I've marked the places I need. So the next thing is to use your shape builder. For those using Illustrator, use your shape builder, and for those using CorelDRAW, you use your visual segment delete tool. So you use it to delete the parts that you don't need. For example, we don't need this. But before you delete, always make sure you copy your grids. Just select the grids and copy. Okay, have a copy of it. Then use your shape builder or your visual segment delete tool to delete the excess that you don't need. For example, we need this curve here, so we are getting rid of this and this, then this and this. This is giving us the curve we need here, and we're getting rid of this. So I'll speed this up. Okay, so remaining the inner part, as you can see, we need this center. We need the center. Then we need this part. Yeah, so this is it. As you can see, we have the shape already, but it's having a thin line. It's not thick like what we have on our sketch. Yeah, don't move it away, just take it back. All you just have to do is to increase the stroke width. Let's say I'm increasing it to 25. You can change the caps from sharp to round corners. So with your you can double click on the pen here, and it takes you here. Then you change the corners to round corners, line caps to round caps. Okay, so it gives us this. As you can see, it's still not as thick as the original sketch. So all you just have to do is increase this. Let's say 100 is too much. Let's see 80. Okay, 80. Let's say 75. I think I'm okay with 75. I think it's still too big. Let's say 70. Okay, I'm okay with 70. It doesn't necessarily have to look like the sketch. The sketch is just to give you a rough idea. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. So yeah, this is basically it. So all you just have to do for CorelDRAW users is to convert your objects to outline. Convert outline to object. So now on doing that, you can now weld. That means, for example, now if you don't weld, see, there are different, there are different lines that combine this together. So you can just undo. So you just select them together and you weld. So it's now a single object. No part is detached. You can give it any color you want. So that's the number one way of creating this. And the second way, I formed this using the monoline. I just used line basically, and I increased the line width. Now the second way is to actually do something like this. Duplicate this. You get the exact width. And mind you, if you are using this method, you make sure the width you're using all through is equal. I copy this, I duplicate it here. Copy this again, I duplicate it to form this. Duplicate it to form this. Now again, I duplicate it to form this. Also to form this. But the fun fact is it has to be accurate, yeah. So now to do that, this is what we have to do. I'll group this together. Group this together. I'll group this together. I will then group the two together. So now these two are one group. All I have to do now is to copy one, copy here, just duplicate it here, duplicate, duplicate. As you can see, we have this. We have three groups here. So now all we just have to do is to rotate it. Okay. We need actually, okay, we need to like, let me start all over. Let me delete this group. Okay, so we have one group here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's say this is 5 groups. Yeah. So the next thing is I will just duplicate it and flip it some way like this. Or better still, I will delete one. Okay. After creating this, I can just duplicate this first 4. Yeah. Duplicate it. And group this. I can now get rid of this ones since I've duplicated it. We don't need it actually. We delete this and we paste what I duplicated. This is what I duplicated here. So I'm grouping this together now. Then I'll align this with this and put it at the center. C, E. It was just a shortcut that I used. C and E. C means center, then E is. So it's accurately at the center. So I just have to like rotate it. So I'm rotating it now. It gives me the center. You can see the center space. Then I can now ungroup and I'll move. I have to like move this 2. Let me move it together with this. I have to move this downwards and move this upwards. Do you get the point? But for me to get that accurately, I have to group the 2 together again. Then centralize it with this. So that makes it at the center. So that means the space between this and this is equal to the space between this and this. So when we're using this type, you have to be very, very precise and accurate. So I'll duplicate this again to get this other corner, which is here and here. So we've gotten here, 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 here. So what we have left is here. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, we have here and then here. So it's simple. Copy this again and paste. So we have one here and we have another one here. So yes, copy and paste. Now, the same thing, central alignment. So yeah, this is it. So now the next thing is your shape builder. But the first things first, don't forget, always copy your grid. Copy. I didn't make use of the one I did the other time, but I'll still show you again. So using your shape builder, you remove the excess part that you don't need. Some will be a bit tedious. Then just remove the excess parts that you don't need. We don't need all this. We don't need all this. Now this. Remove this. So now the inner parts, we need to remove this. Yes, we don't need. And now removing all this, removing these parts. The shape builder, it will be quite easy. Shape builder and Illustrator should be quite easier. Am I doing the right thing? Not sure. I think I am. Let me just keep cutting, cutting. Yeah. Okay, I'm not supposed to cut this parts. Yeah. That's correct. Right. You get your job. Yeah, this is it. And this. Yeah, so this is it. We've created the shape, and the next thing to do is to fill that part. This time around, use Smart Fill. With your Smart Fill, it shows you an option here. You can remove the outline, none. Then outline, no outline. Yeah. Then you can change the color to maybe gray or something. Then once you just click, it fills in that part. So boom, that's it. That's the second logo. Let me use black. Okay, so I said you guys should copy the grid before, so that after you've filled your logo like this, then you now paste your grid on top of it. Now I copied earlier, so you just paste. So you don't have to. Okay, so it was the grid that we used in forming this. It's that easy. So you can just get rid of this and then this. So yeah, this is it. The same logo but different approach. I'm just duplicate this. Now if you look at this, this has round corners. This doesn't have. This is a bit slimmer than this. It's easy. You can just add outline. Let me use the color black. You can just add black outline and increase the thickness to your satisfaction. Let's do this white mark. Let's hit right here. Okay, let's say I'm using this. Now the next thing is go to the outline tool, then you give it round corners, round caps. So that's just it. You see, it's not as round as the other one, so I will advise you just leave it the sharp edges. Then what you just do is you break apart the outline from the shape. That's found here, objects, break outline, convert outline to objects. So that's it. So your outline is different from the object. So you can now merge the two together and weld. On doing that, it is now one object. So after that, you can now use your corners to give it round corners. You go to your corners. If you can't find it, there's always this plus on your curl draw. Click on it, then you'll see corners somewhere here. So just check it. So you see your corners here. Mind you, you have to use millimeters. Now using your shape tool, curl draw users, you can delete this node because it's not needed. Using your shape tool, select the nodes you want to curve. Like as you can see, this place, this, those are the curved parts. The inner parts are not affected. So we are selecting this, and this. Then apply. See, the radius is currently at 3 mm. Let's apply and see. Okay, I think 3 mm just works fine. Can you see that? Or let's see if use 2 mm. Apply. I think 2 mm is not bad either, but I prefer the 3 mm. So yeah, that's it. It's still the same approach. I mean, it's still the same logo but different approach. But then if you noticed, one has more space than the other. What that simply means is this works better than this. I don't know if you understand. This works better than this. So if you look at our sketch, in relating to our sketch, we'll see that From the sketch, the spacing is actually much, so this works and not this. The main purpose of using this is if you actually want to fill in, let's say you want to fill in this part now or something else. Yeah, there are other logos that you actually have to do that way, but for this logo, the type of sketch I have here, it's a monoline logo, so this is what works. So I'm disregarding all this and I'm keeping this. But before then, I did something. I said we should copy the grid for this earlier so that we can apply it on our logo. So I will just undo and see if my cursor can go back to the initial part. So let's see. I'm trying to undo. Okay, yeah. Okay, I think it's still working. Let me just undo. Okay, I'm just going to undo the initial part where I have the full sketch. Okay, so I have the full sketch here now. All I just have to do is, all I just have to do is copy my full sketch. So the sketch is full at this point. Okay, at this point the sketch is full. I just have to do is copy. Then I go back to where I finished the logo. So this is where I finished the logo. Here is where I finished the logo. Yeah, here. So all I just have to do is I can give this logo a color, then I paste the sketch on top of it. So I'm deleting this, I'm just moving it. So you can see all those joinings formed this. So to make your work neater, all you just have to do is create a box around it. Create a box around it. And on creating the box, you just have to increase other lines so that it goes outside the box. Goes outside the box. All I'm using is Ctrl R to repeat the process, to repeat my last action. So I'm repeating my last action on each of the lines, just to make sure it comes out of the box. I think everything is outside the box now. Yeah. So I'll just Ctrl X. I'll just cut my box. Then I'll group all this together. Then I'll paste the box back, the square. So now with the square, I can now intersect. That means I have a copy. Then I can now delete this, the excess. So it gives me a perfect grid system. So that's just the arc on how to design a logo using a grid. So the next tutorial, which I'll be dropping before Sunday, I'll finish up this project. So should you have any question on how I use the grid, please do make sure you drop your question in the comment section. Thank you very much for your time.